Hello and welcome back to the studio. We are ready for map 2, which is going to be Cash, as you can see behind you. Dan.
Yes.
So, this is the pick of Gamers Academy,
Yes, it is.
but Fallen is going to be a massive factor with their AWP, in my opinion. So, because it's their pick, by no means does it mean they're going to win or even outperform significantly the opposing force. See the reference there, huh?
I like that game.
Half-Life opposing
It was
force.
good.
Anyway, the knife.
I'm wondering now, like I'm questioning all the references. I'm like, am I too old now? Can I make this reference? Because that was Opposing Forces. And when did that come out? 2002?
I have no idea.
2001? 2000?
I have no idea.
Long time ago.
I got my 12-year badge on Steam last week.
I don't know why I don't have one. I should.
What, have a 12-year badge? Well, it tells you what day you registered your account.
It's in 2003 somewhere. But
Mine was September 11th. Although apparently Steam came out September 12th, which is interesting. Anyway, that's what it says. Pistol round, Luminosity starting on the T side, the generally speaking less favoured side. If they're going to go for a boost, I'm wondering if they're going to go for more than one player. Indeed, it's going to be just a fast peek for information here from Luminosity. You saw he went for like a really wide shoulder peek to avoid, you know, the pre-aim headshot. We'll go for the extended peek, but generally speaking, that is an unfavourable duel because the US DSs have superior range. Games Academy have gone for a two-man push through Squeaky, completely taking LG by surprise. But it's the T's who have... Oh no, he can just close the door. Oh, he's got the bomb and he's closed the door, Dan. What is this?
oh my god. This is a disaster. Rather
This is the worst thing.
perplexing situation. I'm perplexed.
That's like the worst thing that could possibly happen, other than losing the bomb on the boost spot and having only one player to try and retrieve it.
Wrecked.
That
Wrecked.
is just... I still remember when they adjusted that so the bomb would fall forward when the T goes down, and there is a horrible example of what can happen sometimes. Normally the common worst example you see is when a T is pushing short on Dust 2 and he gets taken down and the bomb falls into CT spawn / elevator. But that is impressive. That's a close second, Dan. Into Squeaky.
That's amazing, yeah. With two CTs that can then chill there. Pretty awesome. I appreciate that. Oh, I also appreciate that.
Boom! Fallen with the aim, saying no, mates. You work for me.
That won't get old, I don't think.
It's enough for a while.
Okay, so this is still fine. It's still good. It's still okay for Games Academy. I don't believe they spotted the bomb, but they got players in position to deal with this. Nice little crossfire action. Now the running and the gunning of the pistols could be an issue, but we'll have to see how effective they are. Smokes will go down, which will force the two players of Games Academy back. FNX by the quad will drop the bomber. Excellent distraction, excellent angles, excellent spray down with that MP7 of FNX. He's looking for that ace now. He's got himself only tagged down to 58, so pretty darn nice.
Interesting that Luminosity threw that smoke out of Squeaky Door onto quad. But the problem with that smoke is it favours the CTs. It's that simple. You just saw like... I think if you're going to throw that smoke down, you might as well try and get a short plant going instead.
Yeah. It's exactly like... So what MVS used to do is they used to pop flash that position because what they realized, and this is the thing, like a lot of teams kind of don't realize that the round is like not won necessarily. I'm going to talk over this. The round is not won by getting into the bomb site. That doesn't win you the round. But like there is a lot of bomb sites where teams feel like that. Like again, train on the B bomb site on train.
FNX has got
the same thing.
10 for 0.
It's pretty nice.
Please continue.
But yeah, so the bomb site on B on train is another clear example. It's like where teams think, oh, if we get all the smokes down, even though they're smoking connectors so that all the CTs can come through and then get an easy retake, you feel like you're winning the round. But this is another clear example of that, where you're like, okay, we get into the site, but actually we help the CTs.
Indeed it is. But again, Gamers Academy on their pick will get the initial 3 rounds. And they will fight for control of the mid area. And it's going to cost a lot of people their lives. We have a minute 25 on the clock and there are 4 people alive, Dan.
Nice single bullets to dispatch Lucas as the bomb can now be planted. Henny, oh no, he's so dead. He is so dead here. Steel is going to easily take him down. Surely does get a few tags, and that's actually he's going to be Henny alive.
Yeah, but now Henny's got a quick 1v1. If he can get a fast kill here, then he can just go for a defuse. And there it is. But can he... Again, Steel's A main, but the bomb's exposed, and Steel will make the frag. Very good point, actually. I forgot that bomb was planted on the corner there. So, saving grace to allow Luminosity to get their first round on the board here.
But that said, you know, Games Academy built up so much money with those
Eco frags.
yeah, the
MP7.
the MP7 frags that they can actually get the buyout this round. And Luminosity only had one player surviving last round, so you can see that they're really stretched on cash. They've got 3 Galils, so that this could be a big opportunity for Games Academy to money screw them and reset that economy and get their economy rolling really nicely. But they have to win this round to do that. And Luminosity, that is the big danger for them. How are they going to try to circumvent this danger? It's like they wanted to go for an A execute to try to do that.
Games Academy only have the one defuse kit on Zaheni. This is... Oh, look at... He's holding a counter flash here towards quad. I like this idea. This is not something that I have observed before. You can see Cold positioning himself, I think, to throw that smoke again. So, it's the same play from Luminosity. Let's see when Henny goes for a counter flash. I think he might throw it off the wall instead. They're going to re-smoke the area, and you can see the strength of it. Oh, Steel's going to find himself one frag. So Henny's moved elsewhere. But this is going all the way of LG. Only the B players remain. So despite the expectation from Gamers Academy, it will be a complete failure.
Yes, I expected a lot more from them there, but of course, you know, Steel coming over the top of the red container really just it just completely dehinged the defensive effort. And now the the saving players are being hunted down. So they can survive. Nice couple kills so far. And if they make this expensive for Luminosity, it's actually okay. But how much more damage can they really do here? They're pinned down, and we get multiple peaks there. Where on earth is Steel looking? Is it looking to the left there? I'm pretty sure they spotted both players. Never mind.
Yeah, that didn't work out, did it?
Never mind. but they ended up losing how many? Three players there, I think. So that's not too horrendous for Games Academy. So they'll go for one save, and then they'll be in with the buy again.
Luminosity going to be opportunistic, knowing that the CTs are on the eco. You can see Fallen and Fur with those money makers, those moving accuracy guns. It can be a lot more dynamic versus potential stacks here from Gamers Academy. First, it'll be Taco spotting the information for his team, losing his life in isolation. One player towards the B bomb site with a stack towards A. Again, you've got that mountain, the man mountain on the A bomb site. However, only one frag has been garnered by the CT side. Now the rotation comes in from Lucas. Maybe he'll try and pick up the lost gun, but I don't think that will be possible either. Goodbye, Lucas. He's dead, Dan.
He is not long for this world. So 3-3, and Games Academy with a poor situation on the grenades. Not quite as much as they would like. I think they'd really love to be able to force some incendiaries and also some more kits, but they'll have to make do. 5 mollies on Luminosity. I really like this. I can't wait to see how they end up using all of them. And we'll get some smokes to allow a quick entries into the vent area. That's really nice to do that. If you've got one guy who's really used to this role, he can do so much damage and pressure by himself just by taking the vent room. And it really punishes the CT side that plays too defensively on this side of the map. Because if you give that position away, the T's can crush you.
Dan, look at this flank coming in from the CTs. The Gamers Academy players on the B bomb site need to hold and survive while this flank comes in, because this flank is so close. Taco with the initial frag and have the counter flashes, trying to slow these people down, trying to waste time. You can see the T's retreating blind. Will they realize that there's another player there? Distraction coming in from the vents as well. Still 2 players on the site, now only 1. The remaining Luminosity players heavily tagged. Famas coming in to find a frag. Only 10 more bullets in the magazine, but there it is. 2 versus 1 now. Fallen versus the remainder of Gamers Academy, looking to take the lead once again.
No. He doesn't have to peek at all here. He can just cover the position of his teammate and he's fine, but Lucas will get the kill anyway. That was a perfect crossfire setup. that he was peeking out of it.
He was hungry, Dan.
I was crying inside when he was peeking there.
He was hungry and he was fed.
But so the issue there, interestingly, was despite the fact that they had 5 Molotovs, when they got into the position where they're at vents, where you then you throw 2 Molotovs at least onto the bomb site, so that you force the peak and you get a quick kill and a quick plant, and everyone else can stay in the good post-plant positions outside of the site. They were in vent room with no Molotovs left. Somehow they got into that situation, despite having 5 at the start of the round. That seems like there is a problem there. So that said, they're going for a play into B again. And there's 3 players already here for Games Academy. Feels like they already know what's up.
Hot shots coming through the smoke. Kenny going to take the first frag onto Steel. Close to getting the second one, but not going to make the connection. T's moving onto the site. Bombs on the floor. Only 2 remaining. Looking good for Games Academy at the moment. Cold caught with a nade out, I think. And it's just left down to Bolts on the site. That smoke may give the game away as to exactly where he is. And it's going to be a case of damage now. You never know. He has got an opportunity to get himself at least 1v1, but none will be allowed. FNX with a shot through the smoke. It's worth noting, actually, the new animations of the players when they draw their weapons. And I really feel like we need to look at that in more detail. For example, if you have a T on the slope of Inferno, on the T slope towards mid, when you pull out an AWP, it swings around to the right, so it gives your position away, and it is essentially a warning to the CTs that you are incoming. So people definitely need to learn and adjust to those draw animations. Anyway, Luminosity trying to maybe make a fast play somewhere. They are on the eco here. It's going to be about damage limitation for Gamers Academy. Things slowing down as the T's. They've got someone in Z connector, I believe. Steel's managed to make his way all the way through mid, although how important that is to be decided. Seems Games Academy are concentrating their efforts elsewhere, and he will be eliminated. Next to no damage taken by Games Academy so far. And there it is, a successful round for the CTs.
Yeah, this is quite a strong comeback from Games Academy. I wasn't sure if they had it in them, but I think to an extent Luminosity kind of it feels like they self-sabotaged in a few situations. On like the ends of their T strategies didn't quite run or kind of execute out properly, or I felt like they got put into a position where they weren't able to effectively deal with it. Anyway, we're going to have a quick aggression there from Henny into B storage. Ooh, that is very close, and with the new updated hitboxes, that is a very, very hittable shot there for Henny. And that's really nice that he's in this position right now. The only problem is if they decide to pop flash peek him from a closer position, but unfortunately for him, that's not. The rest of the T's are all the way on the A side of the map. And you can see the response here from his teammates. They've decided that, okay, it's very unlikely that there's going to be a B storage presence, so we're going to all rotate and even information play into A main. And now Lucas can just hold this position. How on earth will Luminosity get around this? This is very difficult for Luminosity for sure.
53 seconds remaining, and Luminosity seem committed to the site. Again, they're going for this same execute where they smoke off the quad area, but they're losing players before they get the opportunity. Only Steel now versus 4. This has not been a successful round. And finished off by Henny. Interesting facts. You saw there was a player just spotting B from T-spawn. He only had an AK, but if you have a sniper rifle in that position, although you would argue that it's probably a waste of a sniper rifle. But if you're on an anti-eco, say, and you have a scout, you can, there is the road sign at T-spawn. You can jump on top of that without requiring a boost and look all the way scoped into B. It's a surprising angle as well, which I don't think any pros expect. Bit nerdy. There we go. Cold will be fairly warm on the boost spot. Roasted. And dead. 2 players playing on the A bomb site together. Essentially a double peek onto Fallen there. So the anti-eco has varied for Games Academy and keeping Luminosity on their toes. Or in their coffins.
Yeah, it's the I feel like Luminosity should try to capitalize more on the way that Games Academy are playing the B side of the map, because they're either playing very passively towards B, or most of the time they just generally are. So I think Luminosity can catch them out when they're pushing, which has been not so frequently, but sometimes we'll see Henny trying to go for a bit of aggression there. So you could like either try to catch him out on that aggression, or if there's no aggression, they could take over vent room with like 1, maybe 2 people just to begin with, and then just leave 1 guy there. And then what that does is it slows the rotation down, obscures the round completely, and Games Academy, they are going to feel forced to have 1 or 2 players there all the time. So if Luminosity are then to try to make a play into mid or towards A, it should be much easier, and the rotation from B should be much longer. So I think there's a way, and if you know, if you're a really good player, you can just sometimes just outright aim duel those guys down, and then your team can go for a B round. But either way, you will see that quick aggression from Henny, and then they'll fall back onto the vent position. Games Academy playing a very passive standard kind of setup that they've been running in almost all the rounds so far, and Luminosity is setting up for an execute, it would seem.
So this time they've got Bolts throwing the smoke through the door, and Cold will be coming through A main with his teammates. So here comes the push. This time the flash is going to work. Taco out of position, not being able to protect himself behind the structures on quad. But it's 3 versus 3, and those smokes will dissipate soon enough. There's a Molotov and a smoke left for the CTs. FNX goes for a fast aggression. Not going to work out for him. Lucas evens things up once more. AWP versus AWP, and Fallen again. We said he's going to be dangerous on this map. A nice open map for the AWP. Takes down Henny, leaving Lucas to clutch.
Yeah, this is a tough one. He does have some time, so he could get the engagements to make it possible, but he's got to hit those shots, and Luminosity aren't going to be fooled by Lucas. And that's a nice little frag to end the round there by Fallen. Very, very nice round by Fallen. That's going to give Luminosity a real lifeline in this matchup. And again, we saw the execute there. It would be really cool to see that quad smoke find its way maybe to the crate instead of the quad area, so they can more easily access quad. It worked out this time, but I think that's the only point of failure really for that rush. But otherwise, it was executed very well.
So we've got full incendiaries on the CT side. I think they're going to go for a push through Squeaky now. A bit of fed up of having to put up with these smokes through the door. They will trade, but they will have some control, at least for a while. They will leave doubts in Luminosity.
We have a big flank coming. Games Academy have 2 players already in the mid-red house, the T warehouse at the moment, and I don't think Luminosity's pace is going to be quick enough to stop them from annihilating them on the flank. We'll have to see, actually. Luminosity, Fallen, he actually entries for his team, so that's going to speed things up into the bomb site, but there is still this flank coming, and how effective is it going to be? Well, it looks like it's not going to have any effect at all. It's just Lucas who's left, coming in from Squeaky. They'll never expect this, but he has to pick his moment. Goes for the first player, and with that M4A4, there's no silencer. They'll quickly work out where he is. Maybe a little bit too quick to take the shot there, as now he's pinned in the door, and the bomb will be planted in relative safety.
Planted it for sure.
And how does he get out of this position now? That's the real issue. Fallen is on the angle with the AWP, going wider and wider still, but this is going to be very impossible. There it is, gets the shot, and I think perhaps Lucas a bit too fast on the trigger there.
Dan,
yes.
He jumped, but he still got shot, Dan.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did indeed.
I can't tell you how happy that makes me.
It's
Consistency has come to Counter-Strike.
it's just funny to me because like in Quake we've had that for many years.
Oh, look at you,
you
Mr.
hit what you say. Taking accuracy for granted in the Quake world.
Well, look at this aggression over towards the B bomb site. We have Lucas and Taco coming in with a 5-7, and the bomb is down, and they've lost control. Have Luminosity, and AWP's being picked up by Lucas. Not sure if he's any good of it, but we might be about to find out for holding an angle, but that's all he can do for the moment. Now, this is a massive problem for Luminosity. It's a 3 versus 5, and they've lost the bomb. They need to go and retrieve it, but while they do that, they have to expect the CTs to kind of close the net around them. So it seems that they might try and flank the CTs, who would be potentially looking to do exactly that. You can see Bolts and Fur walking in a pair to try and clean things up elsewhere, leaving the remaining player around the bomb. Lucas is still just making a nuisance of himself. Down goes First, so it's Cold versus 4.
First player's down. Showtime is going to be very dead after that headshot, and it's going to be 3 players left for Cold to kill. He's got 30 seconds to do it. Don't know that this is going to be all that possible with the remaining time, and he's going to try to wrap around for a fast extra kill, but that's all he can really hope at this point, is to get maybe another kill onto the board and deny one of these weapons from Games Academy. I actually cannot think of a way that the round can start worse for a T side. Like from all the feasible things that can happen, losing the bomb in this position and 2 players and an AWP into the toxic position, I actually can't think of a way.
It's almost as bad, Dan, as the bomb falling through Squeaky, where
Yes.
2 CTs are waiting.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's the only other way. But even that's even more manageable because with the grenades you can like use the grenades at least. But that situation we could see is just so hard. Wow, that was really, really rough to deal with. That sucks for Luminosity because look how this breaks their money for the last round as well. This is going to give Games Academy a much easier time now.
It is a sad state of affairs. Ooh, we've got a pop flash coming in, maybe? Nope, still just running backwards, and he will be shot in the face. A sad carcass left for
Yeah.
Fallen to observe.
Scratching his butt there, just... Okay, not quite. It was the angle chase.
I was in a sports store buying socks, and there was a guy lying on the couches, scratching his ass. I was disgusted, Dan. So much so, I took a photo of it and put it on Twitter.
Just share it.
I was outraged. Where does he think he is, Dan? Anyway, Luminosity, the entire team, or what remains of them, over towards B-bomb site. We've got pop flashes coming in from both sides. There's an immediate counter flash, and there's more flashes coming in for Henny. He's blind, he sees, he frags.
Yeah, they're going to get their way onto the bomb site, but the bomb has not made it there just yet. That's a bit of an issue. Fur is quickly trying to remedy this, but he's very, very cognizant that these CTs can find angles on them, and FNX looking for the perfect moment to peek, and it's going to be the plant there for kills, for first, sorry, and it's not going so well here. It's, the only saving grace could have been Cold holding down that vent position, but he's going to get eliminated by Showtime, and now these CTs are bearing down on Fur, and he's going to take a bullet straight to the chest through the clip, and well, 10-5. Games Academy with another strong half.
I'm sure they will be content with that half, considering it's their pick.
Also, also some of the rounds that they won were a little bit crazy. Like for example, the round where the bomb went down in, as we mentioned, in B storage. That was a really, really fortunate way for them to start a round. Put Luminosity in a really horrible position. There are some other rounds as well where I feel like Luminosity had like a good approach to the round, but maybe they needed to tweak it a little bit. Like that round where they finished towards the vent room, but they had no grenades left to throw into the bomb site. That was or to even to block off the choke points, despite having full grenades at the start of the round. So it feels like Luminosity could have had a much better half, and we'll have to see how the T-strats go for Games Academy. As you mentioned, it's their map, so one would expect that they are going to have a lot more to throw at Luminosity than perhaps on Train.
Well, this is an important pistol. If Luminosity lose this and the following ecos, then I think their days are numbered and the Faceit League qualify, Dan.
Yeah. How big of a deal is this for Games Academy to actually make the Faceit League? To be honest, that's crazy.
Yeah, it would be a humongous opportunity for them. So, well, good luck to both teams. No bias here. All I want to see is people get AWP'd.
I want Brazilians to win, Jace.
That's I have to respect that, Dan. I can't argue with you there. In fact, I think I may agree. So, what is the play here? Maybe Gamers Academy trying to find out what's going on. Oh, look at this distraction. Just a mere smoke. Oh, he's got a frag as well. But I think the LG have realized quickly what's going on as they had a second player rotate towards the B-bomb site. The B-bomb site's being lost. 3 versus 4. They've got a bit of vision for now. Up top, there are no nades left here for Games Academy. Only 2 of the 4 Ts have armor here. We'll see how much of a difference that makes. Steel has a smoke and a kit. I don't know how he can use the smoke to improve this situation.
This is very, very difficult. Steel needs this kill. There it is. Showtime is going to fall. And we get a 2-man advantage out of nowhere. FNX looking for the clutch. Now they're very low. He's finding headshots though. He'll take down all the remaining players. Luminosity were looking like they were going to save themselves there in such a crazy predicament. And I really liked that Games Academy pistol round. It was pretty cool. And the thing is, you don't expect that guy on A main to get a kill. But he managed to find a kill there because he would have had to have not had any Kevlar to be able to buy those grenades as well for the little kind of the mini fake.
Yeah. So, well executed. LG brought it back, but only for a second. Good individual play. Making it an important pistol for Games Academy. But again, That's the pistol done, but the force buys come in for Luminosity, and this has similar importance, I'll say. I don't know if it's equally important. This is not the time to nerd out on that, but triple MP7, that's important for the T side. Just about avoiding the CZ.
Yes, that is just... That's so scary.
That's Indiana Jones territory.
Yeah, it's like a jump scare when someone like appears for like a millisecond, spraying
like, no,
a CZ. Oh god,
yeah.
I'm safe, I'm fine.
Well, what is the play for the T's? Looks like they're going to take mid control. Bomb is heading over towards B, so I think we're going to have a B split. There are 3 CTs over here. Full rotation coming out from Games Academy, and LG know what's going on. Here come the CTs as well. Oh, look at the tags on Games Academy. They've only got one player, the AK carrier, who has some life, but he's going down as well. This is all doable now for the CTs. They just need to find a few shots to hit, and there are 2. Now they've got a man advantage. Evened up, the MP7 coming in to give the advantage back to Games Academy, but Fur has some armor-piercing bullets. They have been nerfed in recent times, but look at the health on these final 2 players, and he may pick something up on the way.
This is actually a really good gun for this situation. He's going to go closer and closer. He gets spotted now. Where's the second peek? He finds the headshot. Swaps out for the AK. Quick reload before he presses forwards onto the bomb site. Taco goes for the peek. He's so incredibly low. One single bullet from Fur, and that's it. He finds it, and they couldn't have won a more important round. This is going to put Games Academy in a very awkward position economically. The bomb going down is the only saving grace. That's going to put Luminosity in a position where they're thinking to themselves now, they have to expect the force buy. They absolutely have to expect the force buy. For some reason, we can't see the money, but I'm pretty sure Games Academy should be force buy. They're probably at 2,800 or something. If we can see that tab, maybe? Okay, oh, they have, yeah, 2,800 to 35 there. So they could absolutely have force bought here, and I think they should have done, because they have so much of a buffer of rounds. They would basically just win the match if they would win a force buy here.
Fallen straight on the AWP with no armor, and again we know like this Fallen in the AWP is massively important for the CTs. He is hugely key on this map.
He's been so good.
We'll see what he can do.
Really
He needs to avoid Taco. He has the solitary Tech 9.
Taco's also been really good, gotta say. He's been making a lot of crazy kills. I didn't expect to look to him for the frags, but he has been delivering. Oh, cold this position is going to be fun. How many kills? How many, James?
It's actually really hard to make that jump over there, because you can sit on the well 3, 4.
Oh, almost.
You can sit on the shutter on top of the entrance to main, but it takes some practice to make that jump. Definitely does. So Games Academy choosing the conservative route. Now they'll have the AKs, the nades, etc. Fallen will be afforded armor, which is always nice. We'll see what the approach is from Gamers Academy. Gonna go for a boost into the roof of mid. Getting a bit of an acute angle there, surprise angle. And Fallen is seeking, but will he destroy? We'll have to come back to that. He's doing the crab walk strafe. That is like a scientific anomaly. The power of the crab walk strafe makes no sense, but it works. I don't understand it. So we'll come back to that later. Games Academy with a different approach to the smokes on the A side, but will they make it work? Taco going to save his teammates, taking down the forklift player. Fallen. Cold goes down as well, and here comes the short plant. This is what we were talking about earlier. I don't know if they realise there's a CT above them, above the ladder. Can they get the frag? The CTs have control of mid for the moment as well. Bolt's going down for surviving on short, but again, they need to defuse the bomb. 4 versus 2, so many angles, and they've got to be paranoid with the short plant as well.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird situation with that plant. But Fer's going to go in there looking for the frags. There's not many left here, players left here. Steel and Fer is all they have to do the job. And in goes Fer, finds both players who are on the bomb site, but there's still one more in Henny. He's over there by A main, and well, I'm pretty sure Fer knew exactly what was up, and there's not even enough time. Games Academy are going to win that round with a... And it's interesting because they went for the short plant, but then the guy going mid got killed like almost immediately. So then it almost became a bit of a risk, a greater risk factor.
I'm wondering, I think maybe that last CT made a mistake because he had a smoke and dropped it on the normal bomb plant position. Maybe he didn't realize where it was, because it's actually hard to notice that the bomb gets planted there, whether it's planted in a smoke or not. And I think he was very unlikely to be able to get the defuse regardless. But there we go. We will never know now. So, Luminosity on the Force by Fallen has the poor man's AWP, also known as the Scouts. 2 M4s, a P90, which I'm looking forward to seeing later on, and the 5.7.
Ooh, wow.
Wow.
That was a just run and gun through the door. Why not? You get the execute grenades coming into the B bomb site, so Games Academy are going to control things down, slow it down on this round. Not allow Luminosity to really get anything done. So, bomb planted, this should be an impossibility, and I'm surprised even that Luminosity are going for the challenges, but they're picking up some kills, and that might encourage them to go for this even more, even though it might have been a pretty valuable thing to try to keep those weapons alive. But Fallen, he's still pressuring it, he still wants to try to clutch this one. He is brave, James.
Games Academy are trying to send their boss to an early retirement, Dan, and it seems to be going in their favour at the moment. And you saw, I think, you saw maybe a lack of familiarity with the longer Galil spray. If I remember correctly, I think it goes down and then you have to go to the left a bit because it goes like up and right. I haven't practiced it in a while, but...
Well, I play invert, James, so... What you just said, but opposite. for me.
But the other way around. Well, Luminosity forced to eco now. And again, they're going to be walking a tightrope following this round. Unless something insane happens, but I can't see it happening here. They don't have anything apart from pistols. They are exposed, Fallen in the cold, taken down by Tycho. Tycho finding another one, and there is the A bomb site.
Yeah, looking pretty good here for Games Academy. They're quite low though, so might be an opportunity for some extra kills on the outskirts, but no. Just one player dead again. So Games Academy 14-7. Are they going to 2-0 Luminosity here? Looks like there's a pretty strong case for that to happen at the moment. We're 2 rounds away from doing so. The last map, if you guys were curious, is Mirage, but whether we'll see that, I'm very unsure of at this point, because it's do or die for Luminosity. It is do or die. Full M4A4s here. They don't have a lot of grenades to work with. Only 2 kits. 2 kits is fine though. And let's see if they try to mix things up. Do they go for any aggression? We'll get a quick running boost. And that is going to be pretty awesome, because I don't think that they've shown it before, so it might catch Games Academy off guard. And they are going for an A execute. So this position for Bolts, this could be the difference maker for Luminosity.
We'll see what happens. Again, he does not have a silenced M4, so his position will be announced very early. He'll still find himself 3 frags completely regardless. The bomb is down as well. Saving grace maybe for Luminosity. Again, it is a long path to be trodden, but that is a good start. They didn't lose a single player, Dan. And this is the thing, like, with the recent change to the game, you can see Luminosity all using M4A4s, but just all the bullets and so on, I feel like it was underrated or, you know, completely overshadowed by the silenced M4. So I'm happy personally as an M4A4 user that we're seeing a knee-jerk reaction. Who knows how long it will last, but for now it's here. Anyway, Luminosity on the comeback trail. We have the eco push, a fast push here from Games Academy. Can they get the bomb down?
There's a CT that's been left behind the smoke and A main. He's behind all of them, so I don't expect this to go all too well. It is, of course, Bolts once again, but the bomb does go down, which is actually a nice bonus there for Games Academy. They even pick up a frag too, so that's always going to be good. But bomb down, that is actually the most important thing, because they don't really care about Luminosity's economy. They care about getting good, solid buy rounds in, so they can just win. At this point, it's all the same when it comes to Luminosity's economy. So here we go. AWP on Henny, a decent amount of grenades, and the four Molotovs. Okay, 4 Molotovs. Okay, what are we going to see from Games Academy? Now, the AXQ got blown up by Bolt's position there. They might feel a little bit... well, they might be lacking confidence in those AXQs now, even though it has paid off for them in previous rounds. We get a strong mid-hold early in the round from Luminosity though, so Games Academy would definitely be well served with a very passive opening, as if they just hold this and stay patient for a while longer, eventually Luminosity should drift out of middle and they should be able to go for a delayed mid take. If that's what they're planning to do, then the B split or the A split, that's totally up to them.
Fallen's dead.
But that's a great opener from Henny. He's created a very, very nice hole for Games Academy, but they have to find it now.
And that has almost caused Luminosity to abandon mid. They're having to bolster the forces towards the B bomb site. They would have been relying on Fallen to hold things down there as the primary engagement, or engager. But he's dead. There are 45 seconds left, and Games Academy are giving no indication as to what their intentions are now. Wall of smokes in mid, and it seems the B split is a goer. Got to be careful because the heads are still exposed when they jump in. Fur going to take down F next, but he will be traded before he can get to the site. Will they expect the second player to be on the site itself? They need to find this out quickly because there are 24 seconds left. The CT still haven't seen the bomb, but they're slowly rotating. Steel's picked up the AWP now, looking for a second frag after taking down Lucas. He is flashed, and now time is running out. 15 seconds for this bomb to go down. What a snap by Henny. But they still have to take this player down on the site. He's jumped past him. He's in the smoke, but he's still got time to do it. He can put this bomb down now, and still has to wait for his teammates. How insane is this round? So much on the line here for Luminosity.
Oh my god, Steel, how is he even alive in that position? 2 versus 1, now Showtime moving in the smoke. Smoke goes away, he's jumping around the clock. I don't even know what's going on there. James, did he lose his goddamn mind? What just happened?
I don't know, Dan, but the tentacles are out on the site and the bomb is being defused.
Wow. Okay, so the bomb went down, and Games Academy, I don't know how many left they lost in a row now, like 2 or 3 or something? Yeah, 3. So 800 and 2400 there for them, so 3200, and you can see that they can buy here if they want to, but they have to decide. I mean, the best thing to do is get as many buy rounds out as possible. So it's probably better that they just, because they can't really impact the CT's economy at this point really all too much. They just need to try to get good buy rounds out.
I think we have to look at the score as well, because maybe earlier on there was more of a scope to force, but if they force now and they continually have less than ideal buys, Luminosity are only 4 rounds away from them. So if they can, I guess it depends on your team, and I don't know that there's an incorrect choice, but personally I would be going for the bigger buys here while I still have a bit of a cushion. But that cushion is running out of goose down, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, and in these spots, Threat was always a fan of getting as many buy rounds out as you can. And I'm definitely in agreement with that as well, which also aligns with what you just said. So it's good to see that they are adjusting to that mentality, or rather executing that mentality.
I like the difference in how Luminosity sends people across mid, because I don't see that from any other team. Boosting someone over onto the roof, and then they just shoot the vents open and stand in there. Or on this occasion, going under the boost.
It's good as well because a lot of people try to wallbang the shutter, and if you're trying to stay close to the right side, you can't do it because of that. So it's a nice little. I guess it's directly due to that. I suppose people trying that.
Well,
look at the health. Not very good.
That's a good start, but are they going to identify the player? They're going to kill the player under the boost.
Wow. 2
players down for Luminosity already. And this is difficult because they're going to have to put one person on one of these 2 sites and look at the guns that the CTs have. If they lose one of these sites, okay, they've got the AWP on B. If they had both on A and they had to go for a 2 AWP retake, then they would have been really screwed.
The funny thing as well is that they have no Kevlar, but there's 2 AWPs, so the no Kevlar factor is not as important because the aim punch is the problem. But obviously it's that one shot that's key with the AWP. There's the first one. Excellent flick there from Cold. Looking for a follow-up. He's got a teammate onto the angle now as well, so Cold should be pretty safe in this position. He's, of course, under a lot of pressure, goes back out, drops the bomber, and that should be the round now as the last player cannot enter. Henny, he wants to get through there, but it's obviously very hard with 2 players now. 3 on the angle. Fallen, he's going to pop up, and he's going to paint the storage red with Henny's blood. And that's 14-11. And look at the money here for Games Academy. This is really nice because they can have I mean, if they keep losing rounds, they're gonna keep being able to buy decently if they get the bomb down because they got a bit of cash left over. So double AWP for Luminosity. We didn't really see it play out massively last round. I'm curious to see how well it does this time.
So here we go. Games Academy, it's their next opportunity to take themselves to match point. This time seems tentative. They have the bomb over towards A now. And again, we mentioned before, Luminosity putting that player in the vent. They've done that on this occasion. There are 3 Molotovs on the Gamers Academy side. I don't think I've seen them throw the Molotov from outside A into the vent yet.
The interesting thing as well is that I think they were looking at boost, they saw the trajectory of the Molotov come from vent because it's a very flat trajectory. And it came from that direction. So they should know if they saw the trajectory of that with this guy in vent.
Okay, I think they just actually threw it in there. I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, the Henny is looking for a player to engage, and there we go. Bolt's taken down. They still had a Molotov, which normally you get the Molotov in that area to force the CT out, but it won't be required on this occasion. Henny missing the shot, going back to the wall one more time, finding the frag. There is Fur on the A bomb site trying to hold things down here, and he's going to get Taco while FNX is distracted and spin this round back into the favor of the CT, surviving with 2 players. That could have gone either way, but it goes the way of the CTs.
Yeah, I like that that round from Games Academy. It is very unfortunate they didn't have the Molotovs to clear out middle more quickly, because I think Luminosity were able to adjust to what they were doing very, very fast, because it took quite a long time for them to get through mid. They did it effectively though, but I guess the A split can be very hard to actually execute well. Luminosity defended very, very, very well themselves, hitting all the shots they needed to hit there. So big props to Fur on the bomb site. And all AKs now for Games Academy. Just 1 AWP on Fallen. And it's starting to get very, very tense here for Games Academy. They know that their best chance is likely to win this one is likely to just close it out on cash.
Yeah, and Games Academy, they're at max loss bonus now, which is interesting because if they are to make it to 15 rounds and then lose the following rounds, overtime suddenly becomes fairly likely. That Molotov, he'll have the spray down timing, but it's going to be the flames to do most of the damage to Taco. So Luminosity rotating that 3rd player towards the A site, and in timely fashion, you can see the now there's only 40 seconds left. The 2 players on B are playing very deep just in case, but the push is coming in towards A.
Yeah, this is a very fast push, and it's working out. There's still Bolts, though. He's on quad. He's still in position. He's down to 13 HP. He's killed 3 players. They need to kill him really fast, and they have to stop him doing damage. And Taco's going to be so exposed going for that kill. He's up on the top of the container, and the bomb is there as well. That is a massive disaster here. With 15 seconds left, Lucas quickly checks his flank, but he doesn't have time to do so. He has to just grab the bomb and just take his hopes in his hands and pray that he can make the kills happen, and Luminosity will win the round. And oh god, that was really, 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 really bad. The bomb going down there. I mean, Taco, they had to kill the guy in quad to get the plant, and Taco went on top of the container to do that. That is so risky.
With the bomb. With
the bomb, that's so incredibly risky. You just have to try to rush down Bolts there. I guess that's all you can really try to do.
Well,
really hard.
Well,
spot.
don't take the bomb up there.
Don't
take the bomb up there, please. Leave the bomb on terra firma. See if we play.
It's interesting because again they had quite a few Molotovs that they threw, and one of the players, I can't remember which one it was, he threw one behind the site, but they didn't throw anything towards back of quad.
That's the jump I was talking about. Henny is jumping on the sign to spot towards B. Just so you know.
So one more chance for Games Academy to use a buy to get themselves at least to be able to get an overtime. One more chance for that. Unless, of course, they do something ridiculous in this round. We have seen some crazy things. Now, Games Academy, just waiting patiently. They want to try to catch an aggression from Luminosity. It's one of those things where you have time to use. You might as well use it. Maybe they will do something aggressive.
Well, Bolts is in T main. And that pop flash will only be a warning for the CTs. Well, it's going to be more than a warning. Bolts is going to lose an M4, and it's going to be third to try. He's going to have to stand and hold this. There's 3 frags for him. There's the 4th. You can see the power of the M4A4 now. Lots of bullets. 50% more than the silenced M4. And in those kind of situations, it makes life so much easier for the hold. Underrated. It was slept on, Dan. You heard it here first.
Okay, so 14-14, and the chance for Games Academy to win this one is slowly slipping away through their fingers. As you can see, many rounds won in a row here by Luminosity. They've done a great job holding their nerve and staying composed. And once again, Bolts will be... Okay, their timing's a little bit slow. Or no, they're going to go for it again. Okay, they got the smoke down, so Bolts once more will be sent up there. The issue with that is that they might have been able to hear it. But there was nobody really in the immediate proximity there, so...
This is a smoke for CT Z connector. Actually, watched a friend do that earlier when I was playing on Faceit.com. Pugs! No fee required.
Uh-oh, they're going to run into Fallen on middle. We've seen him do excellent stuff so far. So delayed mid-take coming in from Games Academy, but not with too many players. And that's where things can get finicky, because as we can see here, there's a lot of focus being shifted back into middle from Luminosity. So Games Academy could have a really hard time here. They got to really connect perfectly. Oh, almost getting sprayed on all the way through long distance. Orpa Fallen, but time is starting to become quite the issue. 30 seconds, they've got to speed things up. Taka will take down Fallen, so 4 versus 3. Maybe Games Academy can do it after all. The bomb now switched back into B, and Luminosity, they don't know what's hitting them at this point. Steel needs to deliver. He only gets 1 frag, and the bomb will go down on B. Bolts to the rescue, perhaps?
This looks like the round that Games Academy needed, finally. But there's an opportunity for Bolts to get some 1v1s here, although they're slowly disappearing as that final player makes his way towards B. And there it is, match point for Games Academy. But there's only 1 round left, Dan, and they have to win it.
Yeah. And, of course, you know, Luminosity, they were doing so well, they have a lot of bank to spend. So they're not really lacking for cash. That was a really interesting situation, because Luminosity, they were putting quite a few players into middle late into the round. It's quite rare that you see that, and that actually ended up helping Games Academy quite a lot, because it weakened Luminosity, and they weren't able to... They got hit preemptively, more or less, before they could get into position. So that was really nice from Games Academy. But I would expect Luminosity to have a stronger round this time. And Games Academy, once again, playing it passive at the start of the round. Will they go for the delayed mid-take again? It's a good one. It's a good round. You can develop it into an A split or a B split. That's one of the reasons why it can be strong.
I was impressed by the lack of information. They just starved the CTs of information for so long, and then crushed them with seconds remaining in the round. But they will need to do the same again, otherwise we're headed to overtime again. Luminosity have been afforded opportunities to build money. Dan, what do you see?
Yeah, so that's really cool. So some teams are very good at this. You throw a Molotov into the vents like you were saying, and then you get a player who's on B storage who tries to kill the guy as he runs out the vent. But they missed the shot, and now they're losing players on the mid push. This is not going too well for them. Can they actually turn it around though? They're so low on health.
This looks like overtime to me, Dan. They simply don't have the health. They've got the guns, they've got the AKs, but they're outnumbered. They need to breach the site. They've got 20 seconds. They have 1 flashbang, and they don't have... I mean, Bolts' position here is actually massive as well for that reason. See if the plant can come in. Oh, FNX, he is doomed. We are going to overtime, Dan, once this defuse comes in.
Yeah, it is quite brave of him to go for the he wanted to get the face and the instant kill. Wanted to try to gamble that so he could have a one-on-one against Fallen, which is really smart, because you gotta respect that Fallen if he just plants and lets them coordinate safely with the health disparity and so on. Like, I think that was actually a really good risk from him. But yeah, overtime, really huge comeback from Luminosity there. Where were we? I think 14-7 or something, 14-8, something in that region for Games Academy, but they just couldn't close it in the end. So Luminosity will be starting off on the CT side on the overtime. It is going to be max rounds 10, so 5
max
rounds
five.
a half.
MR5.
So we'll have to see whether or not they can find an edge now that they've seen a lot from their opposition.
I feel like in a lot of these situations, the team on the T side kind of missed their, especially with the way the first half went, they kind of missed their opportunity to take it over the line. Who knows? This has got to be a boost in confidence for Luminosity, and their CT side has been fairly strong. I did expect it to be as well. And Games Academy knows so many failures. They had just one late success, but it came far, far too late. 2 AWPs on a T side here for Games Academy, just the one, of course, onto Fallen for the CTs. So with 2 AWPs, Games Academy are going to have to be more aggressive. They can't wait 20 seconds to push a site with 2 AWPs. That's got to be... there's so many ways where that could easily go wrong for them, basically. Got that Kenya style smoke into main and trying to look over the top, but again, no engagements. Minute on the clock here for Games Academy. Again, they have 2 AWPs. They need to get a pick with these AWPs.
Here we go. We got the peak coming over, but these positions from Luminosity are very, very good to counter such play as that picking play. It's a very sharp angle to look down, and there's 2 players there to try to get the refrags. First, gonna cause a distraction as well, and unfortunately for Luminosity, no one's really situated up there just yet, so they didn't force somebody into an angle for them to abuse. But actually, that said, Lucas is up there once again. Games Academy looking to move into this setup. Now, can they get the fast frags? They will. Lucas immediately takes down Bolts. Will they expect the next player? Yes! Lucas will check it. He will go down, though, but that's information for his team. And Ferg picks up the extra 2 kills. It's as if Luminosity cannot die in this round. Everybody is just hitting all the shots. Just Bolts who's fallen at the moment. It's Henny now for Games Academy who's left alive. But there's no time. Even if he gets a few frags here, there's pretty much nothing for him to do. And we'll get around by Luminosity. They'll win the first of the overtime.
I don't think you could be that passive with 2 AWPs. Like, why did they buy 2 AWPs if they're going to approach like that? Like, they lost the first player in mid after getting that frag. We're leaving the AWP in the boost spot with a player around the corner with an M4, which is, you know, that's just a crap situation. If that works for them, then they have the AWP onto short, essentially, while they push A. So then they're great, but given with so much time on the clock, they were left with an AWPer trying to Glock someone on A as well. But a lot of situations didn't go their way. If they did, then who knows? It could have been spectacular for them. But big expense in the first round of MR5, and all those guns have gone. Now they're moving into the A site once more. They've got a wall of smokes leaving short open, actually. He's leaving Fer a bit paranoid. He gets shot in the back, and they're going to get the plant of short with a lurker in mid. But there's a CT there as well. The CT goes down. There's one more fallen, running with the AWP, of course, and he's going to snap Showtime's face off, but he's up against 3 players.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this. Fallen's in a pretty dire situation. He's going to toss in an ace, but there's just no time. He realizes that he might as well just save the AWP here. There's nothing for him to do. So he'll fall back. And that second kill from Lucas through the smoke was pretty amazing. Just switching his spray around, because why not? And then getting an instant headshot. That sucks if you're Luminosity, of course. So 1-1 in the first couple rounds here. So Games Academy, they have found a lot of success out of their A plays. Bolts, though, that said, has been magnificent in this match.
I like these executes on A from Games Academy with a short plant, because a lot of the time you see that short plant in like as a desperation play with smokes, but they're doing it as a full execute play, and it's working very well indeed. That wall of smokes towards CT was interesting, leaving short open. You know, it suggests that the split is coming, but it's only a lurk. But that was enough to make the CTs look the wrong way and get the free frags for the T side. We'll see what their approach is this time. They've got a lurker towards the squeaky door, and they may run distraction as the frags come in towards the bomb site. Again, the Fallen putting in more work, and Taco will get the late rotators, keeping 1 CT on the A bomb site.
Oh, good stuff coming in from Luminosity to try to defend this B bomb site, which is where the bomb eventually did go, despite all that aggression on A. And now it's going to be a quick plant here for Games Academy. Fer is quite far away, but he's definitely not without a chance to pull this one off. It will be tough. And you can see they're really taking their time about this. They don't know how clear this area actually is. So they are taking a lot of care, and that has allowed Fer to get quite close. Oh, the peak could be perfect. Oh, wow. Did he get dinked? I think he did. His helmet's spinning around there on his head as he goes down to 11 HP, but he will hit the shot. Good stuff from Henny and Games Academy with a very explosive round there. And that does definitely seem to help them out. When they play these really slow rounds, Luminosity seem to have way more chance of winning.
It is a barbecue here on Cash. You can see 5 Molotovs on the T side and 4 for the CTs. Lots of intentions to force their respective enemies out of respective positions. So it seems that the CTs are going for the ghetto boost onto the upper place on the A bomb site, and who knows if the player in Squeaky would have heard that. Gamers Academy with a passive start to this round, just hanging around the boost spot, now slowly moving towards A main. Henny running distraction towards B, and he's managed to get a frag already with the Molotov. Oh, so the question is, did Games Academy get the sound cues of that boost coming in from their player in Squeaky Door? Are they going to look for this boost, or will they get crushed by it once more?
Good Molotov there. They have managed to carpet bomb this bomb site. They need to move in though. They're trying to wait for players to be dodging out of these positions, but it's not happening. First holding his position, but he's going to get eliminated by the AWP. Oh, Henny's going to actually hamstring his opponent, his teammate quite literally with that AWP. And it's not really going to matter though. We have seen a lot of damage done here. Fallen is trying to put the heroic effort forwards, but it is not nearly going to be enough. Another fast round from Games Academy is panning out wondrously, and that is going to give them a 3 rounds now to the 1 of Luminosity. So if they are able to pick this one up and go 4-1, that's a really big result. And considering how Luminosity did struggle on their T sides today, it's going to be tough for them.
It is going to be the first team to 21 rounds to take this map. Fallen's AWPing is insane. This is great to watch. But is it going to be enough to keep his team in the game? It hasn't been so far in the first half. Paco's flash. Paco's going to manage to survive in that corner with 9 HP and take down third. Fallen, though, is putting in the numbers once again and again. Fallen and Henny going back and forth here. Frag for frag. But now the AWPer is down for the CT side. Cole will pick it up. We'll see if he can be as proficient as Notorious as Fallen. The bomb might be unknown for Luminosity. They're going to have to start to wonder what's going on. Still 2 plays over towards the A bomb site, but that frag may be an indication. Oh, it's going to scope out his Henny, and that will give Steel the opportunity to get the 2 frags, but still no bomb. The bomb's rotating towards B. Now, what do Luminosity do? Do they split up? They might even hear the plant or the running from their position. I'm not sure. FNX going to check if anyone is coming in his direction. He wants to even the duel up. He will for all of half a second.
That's unlucky.
And Steel will finish him off.
That's really unlucky. There's 2 players right there. And again, it's very good effort from him. I like that he peaked for that one-on-one. Because you expect to get a one-on-one there. It's very unlikely there's going to be 2 people standing in the same spot. Because if there is someone maybe like a car or something, you see him first and at least get a chance to... The other guy has to do a wider peek, you get more time to adjust. But that was just 2 players. Instant face. And now we move into the second half. Now, a good thing for Luminosity to pick up that round. Hopefully saving themselves a little bit of trouble, but they have to have a strong T side here. And
that's one way to hold down mid. Also sniper spam. Those are the Molotovs we were looking for earlier. They weren't required. I think it was actually Bolts who was behind the sandbags when I was talking about those Molotovs, but now he's on the other side of the coin. Luminosity moving towards an A split here, up short. It's going well so far. They've got the man advantage. Cold's holding the angle. Got to catch Taco by surprise. I think we're going to see the first round of the second half going towards Luminosity. Also Sniper as well. That's like at least... That's more than a third of Showtime's money spent, so he cannot afford to lose this. He's down to half his starting money already.
Yeah, it's 5 rounds were what Luminosity were able to get on their T side in regular time. So already kicking things off explosively. Pretty much how Games Academy were winning their T rounds as well on their T side. So curious whether or not they'll keep the pace up or if they'll mix things up somewhat. But a nice hunts there from Luminosity to eliminate those 2 weapons. As you said, a lot of money spent by these CTs. Now we're in with the next buy. We'll see a more regular setup. No auto sniper.
This is actually a really bad situation now for Games Academy because Henny, for example, has 3,300. Showtime has 4,000. And the game is tied up. So they need to be careful with their economy. And obviously they need to win rounds. But now for multiple reasons. We'll see how things go. Luminosity setting up for that play towards A again. This time it's coming out really, really fast. They're putting the Molotovs in, which will actually help the CTs avoid the flashbangs because they're going to have to be forced to hide behind the boxes. Trade coming in, Fallen going to stop Showtime. FNX going down as well. And I think we have another round here for Luminosity. Again, we mentioned the C2 economy, but they're still heading towards the bomb site for now. Maybe looking for some early frags before the bomb gets planted, but the bomb is down. They've taken down Fur. There are 3 more to find. And it seems they are indeed going for it, Dan.
Yeah, they have incendiaries and smokes and stuff, so they do have grenades to use. You can see they're using them to good effect. They flush out these players. I don't know if that was deep enough. Okay, maybe it was. Taco's going to force out Fallen and then promptly eliminates him, so they might actually be able to do this. Another trade comes in. The fire is going to do a lot of damage here. Taco is down to 19 HP. He's going to try to fake the bomb. Steel's running around though. He knows that he has to go for it at this point, and it's a good effort, but it's not going to be good enough. And Games Academy are now really, really strapped for cash. Luminosity in a good position to actually just close this one out with so much money left. Games Academy able to buy fully, but there's no AWP now. The thing that's been crushing them is just Luminosity just murdering them on these entries towards A. They get the bomb site so incredibly quickly, so that's going to be a really big issue for them to try to remedy.
Looks like the mid play will be the first main movement, but speaking of main, FNX is walking in, getting some information for his team. And you can see, like, if Gamers Academy lose this round, Luminosity are in game point, and Games Academy's money is going to be all over the place. It's going to be a complete mess. So that's going to prompt them to be more aggressive, to try and help themselves shut down this round. That's going to help as well. Taco getting the frag. You can see FNX positioned quite aggressively towards A, but they still left 1 player on site. And again, going to have to be wary of CT because they could have a flank coming in. So Taco's going to get shot straight in the head here. 3 plays in, Checkers moving on to the B bomb site. Or are they?
Okay, they're going to be boosting out at least a player so they can get some quick damage. Very unexpected engagement, and he did not ever presume that he would see Fur just leaping out of that vent area. Bolton takes some damage through the shutter, but it is a very strong advantage now for Luminosity to bring themselves into 20 rounds. Bolton's going to back away. Showtime's going to nail him, but Steel is there with a trade, and there's just too many players for Games Academy to deal with.
This looks like 3 maps down, unless FNX gets a clutch again. He's using a silenced M4 on this occasion. The nerfed M4. And it's not going to be enough. Now, look at the money for Games Academy. This is what can happen when you buy auto snipers round 1 and get wiped out.
Yeah, it's quite
But they haven't,
well played.
they haven't won a single round, sorry to interrupt you, which is also a massive factor.
Yeah, it's quite important also how Luminosity well, we can talk about this in a moment. We've got a really fast play into mid. This is actually going to benefit Games Academy, who've got excellent position to deal with it. They connect the shots, and they've claimed the bomb in the middle as well. So now it's going to be a very desperate situation for the remainder of Luminosity. Fallen, it's going to go down straight away to Henny, and Steel is now coming in from the warehouse. Let's see if he can pick something up. He's getting spammed down, actually, 53 HP straight away before he can even engage anybody. And it looks like Games Academy are going to be taking a pretty clean round, and they can upgrade their weapons as well. Oh, okay, Steel will get a quick kill onto Henny. That actually is a big deal. Every frag that Steel gets is a really big deal at this point. He needs to kill as many players as he possibly can. Even if he doesn't have enough time to win the round, he's going to get the damage out.
That's a nice molly, but he can't even afford to face while Taco repositions because it is 3 against 1 and he knows someone's behind him. So that should be an AK picked up for Lucas if he can make it there in time. He's going to throw it to his teammate, and they're going to not pick it up at all. And they don't have money. That's a disaster. That small thing could make a difference here.
That is so hilarious.
Oh dear. The gun was in midair between 2 players, and they lose it.
Yeah,
which means another FAMAS coming out, which means that all the nades he could have had, a kit and so on, all going to go.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, so looks like maybe a fast play from LG again into A, but actually we've got a player in FNX, and he's actually indoor at the moment. Spray comes down. They've actually caught this perfectly between 2 positions, and we can't forget FNX, who's still just sitting indoor, and he's finally going to come into play. He picks up the kill onto Bolts. They tried their, their tested and worthy A push, but this time Games Academy had an excellent setup to deal with it. Fallen and Cold need to do a crazy clutch to pull this one off. Oh no! Fallen, I think, didn't actually click mouse 1 when he thought maybe he had, and he goes down for free to Henny. Cold now needs to eliminate 4 players. There is a quick double. Gets the third one as well. Henny's on 3 HP. He does have the bomb in front of him, but there is so much time here for Cold to play this situation out that he can express some patience. And here he goes. This is anyone's first player to find the shot, and he's going to spot... Oh, he's going to spot Henny. He takes the kill, and he's going to force the third map as well. So, looks like Luminosity are going to stay in it. Enormous comeback from them. Absolutely enormous comeback. And they are going to go to Mirage. And if I'm not mistaken, Mirage was a map that they used to pick always. They had loads of awesome strats here. This might be one of their strongest maps.
It was one that they had the biggest impact in when they kind of came into the main scenes in CSGO, you could say. You know, there was that, I think it was against Cloud9 on Mirage, where they had a demonstration, but obviously that was a long time ago and people would have adjusted to those tactics. So I wouldn't say it's going to be as strong as it was when it was a surprise to other teams, especially against a Brazilian team. I think it should be a competitive map for both teams. That was that really went down to wire in the last round. I mean, what an excellent clutch to keep your team in the game. Because if they lose that round back to overtime, then who knows what happens. But anyway, we are going to go to Mirage. We'll give the players a few minutes to have a breather, get a glass of water, and we will see you all in a few minutes.